All right. So I'm Coach Heidi with Growth and Gainz, and I have Susan Joseph here with me, who I am officially announcing as the winner of our 6 week challenge. Her
Yay.
transformation and her story, everything was just so incredible. And the transformation that she's been able to make, not just externally, but most importantly, internally, has been so inspiring. And so I wanted to interview her and get to know her experience and share this with the world, whoever's listening, to just share her inspiring story and to inspire hope in others who, are in a place of struggle and maybe you don't feel like you're able to change right now. And you can glean some hope and inspiration from Susan's story. um, so yeah, Susan, tell us a little bit about where you were at, what you'd done in the past, what you tried to lose weight before you joined on with Growth and Gains.
In the past, I mean, I've been struggling with my weight probably since I was a teenager. When you're younger, you do the just stop eating, run a lot, and hope that it comes off kind of thing. As I got older, I've tried, like the first one I think I tried was Jenny Craig, which I thought did really well. But what I learned was once I stopped getting their foods, I went back to the way I was before. So I didn't learn anything. It just helped me during that period drop the weight. And then I just went back to the way I knew how to do it. I've done Weight Watchers, which, everybody goes back and forth to kind of thing. I did MetaFast, which was an unusual one, where you drink a lot of powdered shakes and stuff like that. So it's a high protein, no carb kind of diet. And it's not sustaining. Once you go back to eating carbs again, it comes back on really fast, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So those are like the big three weight loss I've done in the past. And I have to say, I actually said this on the weekly call last week, that I was to the point where I was like, I think the only way I can do this is surgery, that I need to go in and do like a bypass or whatever to get myself to, maybe my stomach smaller. That way I can eat less and feel fine kind of thing. So that's where I was at. I was like, this is it. I don't have any other choices. It's just not working.
But then you found us,
Yes,
right?
I
You
did.
were kind of at this point of like, I remember on our first call together, you're like, "Hey, I'm either gonna do this or I'm gonna get surgery."
Yeah.
And I'm curious now how you feel about your decision to join Growth and Gains and a coaching program and really change your lifestyle. How do you feel about making that choice versus the surgery?
Oh, this is definitely 100 times better. I'm very glad that this worked out, because I really didn't want to do surgery, because I don't like, changing my body like that, because then you never know what the long-term effects are and things like that. And I really, when I started, I was kind of skeptical. I was calling you and emailing you going, I don't know if I can do this. This is weird, because it was a different approach. And I really at first was like, I don't know if this is going to work. But you helped me. You made me stay in there, which was great. And then I think after probably like less than a month, I think things started to click. And then I got into a routine. And then I think because a lot of the lessons were about changing your thought process. And I think that helped a lot too, because I was kind of like in a very negative mindset. So it definitely helped becoming more positive. I started looking at things differently, and it made me embrace the program and actually give it a try. And now it's just life. It's just the way I live. I don't tell people I'm on a diet or anything, because I don't think of like what I would go back to. Like I said, the other plans, you would eat their food, you do their thing, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go back to the way I used to live. There is no back to now. This is just the way it is. It's amazing. I have to say it's amazing. I really did not think, when you said this will be the last one I'd ever be on, I really was skeptical.
Awesome. Man, I'm so glad that you had that hope and that you stayed patient with the process, because it is such a process, right? I tell a lot of people on our calls, I think, when we have that like yo-yo pattern, right? Like we want to lose weight or we want to look a certain way or we want to feel a certain way. So we do like a restrictive program that's very specific. And then it ends, right? And or we fall off because it's not sustainable for us. And you're right, we go right back to what we were doing before. And so often, like, I think of this like a ship in the ocean, and you are that, let's say that ship is on autopilot and it's heading south. And then you realize, I don't like where this ship is heading. I want to go east because there's something better over in the east. So a lot of times we get really excited about what's over in the east, and we grab that steering wheel and we turn it, and we hold on with sheer grit and force, and the discipline that we can muster. And eventually we get tired and our muscles burn out, and we let go of the steering wheel. And because it's autopiloted south, yeah, we were heading east for a little bit, but eventually that ship will turn around and go right back to the south. And so, what I realized early on in my coaching, that I wanted to offer my clients more, because as a coach, as a professional, it was discouraging to have my clients like, yeah, I'd get them awesome results, and then they would revert back to what they were doing before. And so really figuring out the psychology behind change, and really figuring out like how I needed to show up for my clients, how I needed to help you guys to make lasting change. Because to me as a coach, that is what is so rewarding. And so it's a matter of like, okay, rather than getting excited and just grabbing that steering wheel and turning it, it's like, okay, we got to take the time to turn off that autopilot, reposition the ship, and then reprogram it, right? So we're reprogramming that autopilot so it does feel easy. Once we put in that initial work and that time, oh my gosh, it's literally smooth sailing from here on out. So I love hearing you say that like, hey, this is my life. This is the way it is. There's no going back. And sure, there's still some waves. There's still some like, it's not all, I guess, smooth sailing. But it's much, much easier. We're not just holding on for dear life, hoping that we can keep going. So
Yeah.
tell me now a little bit more about what you've gained. So you've gone through this internal change, and I'm curious now, like, what were the benefits of that on a physical level? You created that internal mental shift, that mindset shift. Now how have you benefited from that on the physical level?
Well, definitely with start with the weight loss. I mean, I've dropped over 45 pounds so far since I started my whole journey, which is amazing. I've dropped 2 sizes. I actually went and bought new jeans the other day. So I'm down 2 sizes on my jeans, a new bra size, new shirt sizes. I used to avoid the stairs. I used to not like walking up them because I would be winded at the top. And then especially at work, people would walk by me and I didn't want to appear winded at the top of the stairs. So I would, take the elevator. If I had stuff to do in the house, I would just put it on the stairs until I had a bigger group so I could take it all up at the same time. And now I actually find reasons to go to the stairs. I'm like, oh, I got to take this little thing up. Let me run up and bring it back down, that kind of thing. So I find reasons to go up the stairs because I like how I feel. My knees were giving me problems, probably because of all the weight on them. So they would get stiff and sore. I mean, they're not completely 100%, but it's better. I don't have as many issues as I did before. My feet are doing better. I've had problems with plantar fasciitis, and I've worked on that with the coaches as well as, doing exercises and stuff. And again, it's not 100% there yet, but it doesn't bother me. So I'm not focused on it during the day kind of thing, because it used to always remind me of where I was at. If my knees hurt, my back hurt, my feet hurt, I was just down on myself. And I think we're raised, especially like if you're into sports and stuff like that, coaches will get on your case for not doing something the right way and not doing this the right way, whatever. And I think you build that into your lifestyle. So when you're not feeling healthy or you're sluggish or whatever, you immediately go to the negative things. Like you need to, pick yourself up and stop doing this. And you're just on your case all the time, which kind of puts you in a negative state, which means you're now depressed, which means now you want to go find something to make you feel better. And food is your usually first option kind of thing. And I know I had problems sleeping because I'd wake up at 4 a.m. and that internal voice would start talking to me again about how bad I was doing, and, how could I, not do better and get on myself to try to do better each day. And I don't have that anymore. I've internally changed the voice, and more positive statements like, look how far I've come, look at my clothes, they're fitting better, and that kind of stuff. So it's been, I think that is what's really helped a lot, is that change in voice inside my head. Because it's funny, because I saw in my group on Sundays that I have a belt. It's a plastic belt. My kids laugh at me about it. But it used to have the clasp, because it's just a sliding belt. And it used to be right where the buckle came together. The belt was there. And I would say the belt is like this far now. And I wear it daily to remind myself how far I've come. Because sometimes you wake up and you feel the same way you did, a year ago. And I'm like, but you've got to remind yourself that you have succeeded and you've done better. And it's things like that that keep me focused on the positive.
Totally. Oh, I love that. That just gives me chills. Um,
Yeah.
because I think, so often I think, what good is being a certain way or looking a certain way if you do have negative self-talk, if you are miserable, if you do feel depression, and I love that this program has allowed you to not only achieve the physical, but like really enjoy your life more fully, because you've gone through this process, and like, really tackle this from the inside out. Um, yeah, I think that's amazing. And I'm curious now, like, how is your day-to-day life different? How is your view of the future different now? And what things are you looking forward to now that you've gone through this journey and are still continuing this journey?
My day-to-day outlook, I'm more positive. And it's funny because it applies to work too, because work wasn't being fun either, and with COVID and everything, and all that's going on, just being very negative. And I come into the office just very depressed and upset. But being positive about what I've done so far, it's kind of affected that. I'm more positive in work. I'm more pleasant in work. And with family, I'm the same way. I'm not short. Things used to make me like, you go right off quickly because you're already in a bad mood. And if somebody says something or does something, you immediately respond with the mood you're in. And I find I don't have that, which has actually affected the whole family. I mean, like, my husband is more positive now. So, I try to turn things around for him when he thinks of things in a negative light. I always try to push the positive forward. I'm looking forward to being able to go out and travel. I used to dread travel. I went to travel with my sisters to Paris, and I was afraid to walk, through the city because I didn't think I'd make it. But now I'm like, I want to go sightseeing. I want to go walking. I want to go hiking, that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of looking forward to that side, finding trails when it gets warmer outside, and getting my husband out with me so he can start enjoying this too. So it's just things I didn't think of before. It's, that never was in my vision of what I wanted to do in the next coming years, because I do want to retire. And this whole move to change myself was so I could get into retirement and enjoy my retirement and actually do stuff. I don't want to be the person who sits home and watches TV all day because I can't get up or I can't go out. I want to be able to do stuff. We've talked about being able to travel, to get an RV and travel around the United States and that kind of thing. And where I was before, that was not, I really dreaded that, because I was like in a small confined space at my size, getting in and out of a car all the time. I was like, I don't know, this might not work. But now I'm kind of looking forward to it. I actually think I can do it.
Yay, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. I know that the consistency that you've put in and the patience that you've had with the process, it's already paid off immensely. And I know that it just honestly continues to get better from here. And I know that there is an incredible future waiting for you to live and to experience new things that you've never experienced before. And I'm excited to just be here with you and help, continue helping you through this and experiencing all that life has to offer.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. And you guys have been great. When I first started this, I was like you said, I was like really hesitant, and it's a slow process. And that was probably the hardest part to get used to, because you're so used to like quick change. Like when you go on a diet, it's like you have to stop doing this or you have to do that. And the idea that this was going to be slow, it was very hard to wrap my head around.
You're like,
Um,
where's my meal plan, Heidi? I'm like, we're not doing that here. No.
yeah. Yeah. So
Cool. Yeah, that's so it's so awesome to see how far you've come, and just man, like just all your progress, and I'm just so proud of you. Um,
thanks.
so thank you
Yeah.
so much, Susan, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay. Oh, one last thing. And anyone else that is, let's say where you were last year, trying different diets, trying, different restrictive things to lose the weight, maybe considering surgery. What would you say to someone in that position?
I would say give this a chance because all my other diet programs didn't do everything this one has done. So it's helped me look at food different ways. I now eat whole foods rather than processed foods. It gives you, like I said, internally changes. So it gives you a positive outlook. It gives you things to do every day, it just constantly is reaffirming what you've done so far and introducing things that you didn't even think about before, with the affirmations and that kind of stuff. And you can't, it's not a huge change in your lifestyle. I mean, it really didn't. I have to do more planning, which that's what I do. I love to plan. So this fell right into my area. But, if you take the time to plan it out, you just work the plan. You plan the work and then you work the plan. It's an amazing, and I'm glad I did it because it was definitely cheaper than going to get surgery. And I know I can sustain this. I know this is not just a one and done kind of thing. This is, like I said, this is a lifestyle change. This is now how I live. And I think the other diet plans aren't. They're like, you do them and then you're done, and they haven't really taught you anything. Whereas this, I feel like I've learned a lot about myself, especially.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. You just steal all the words out of my mouth. And I just want to encourage, those seeking for solutions to, the problems, the pains that you're facing in life. I want to encourage you, give this a chance too. I'm extremely passionate about helping women. Again, not just look a certain way on the outside, but also really make those internal changes, because I think that's where we gain the most fulfillment and the most satisfaction from being healthy, is from, focusing on that internal first and letting that kind of exude into the external and everything in our lives. Again, thank you so much, Susan. And
Yeah.
we all wish you the best of luck as you continue your journey.
Thanks.